Las Vegas, and welcome to Face the Tribune. Another great day here in Las Vegas and to be in America. We're sitting in again with the legendary Rolando Larraz. I'm your co-host, Chris Garcia. It's a little windy in Las Vegas today, Rolando. It was nice this morning, but
very
nice.
nice.
The wind is coming.
I forgot to bring my scarf. If I wouldn't know it was going to be windy like that.
Yeah.
I went to the courthouse, and when I get out, I couldn't even walk. The wind was pushing me back to the, into the courthouse. Mm-hmm. So, well, it's a lot of things going on in Washington D.C. We said that what do you call those things? The hacking.
Yes.
The hacking of the election, supposedly. Mm-hmm. I tell you, these Democrats and these anti-Trump Republican and the media, they should stop being crying babies. They should stay focused, and I don't see anything wrong by washing him like a hog and keep going, but don't interfere. Don't try to make everything more difficult than it is. If the guy is going to make a mistake, he's going to make a mistake, and then you got a reason to. But in the meantime, let him work.
That's right.
Let him work. He is picking up the best of the best.
Yes.
Every appointment that he has made, it is the best.
Yes.
And yes, good thing. Good with that finger. Good with that finger. So I believe that it should be, give him a chance. What happened if they would have won and the Republicans would have started doing that? They will call the Republicans crying baby and this and that, and God.
Yeah.
All
the things they told us that we were not to do when they won. Remember, we were supposed to accept the election and, let Hillary be president and, don't tear up the country and don't protest. And that's exactly what they're doing. The hypocrites a lot.
I went over to the store this morning and to buy some battery for that clock. And I got there, I bought something else, and I didn't buy the battery.
What kind of batteries are they?
I don't know, AA, I guess.
We have AA batteries here?
No. No, she's not doing anything with the battery because she know I need battery, and that's why she do it. She do it because she want to go against me. She looks so much like my two ex-wives, And now she turned her back on me.
Our producers,
nasty girl.
You shouldn't talk about me when it's not true.
There you go.
No? Okay, so I tell you, the more I see the system, the more I love my dogs. I am surprised, my former friend, my once before friend, Judge Jesse Walsh, is retiring next week.
Yes.
Actually, she went to Florida. This is the way I learned. She went to Florida, and then from Florida, she called the chief judge, which is also retiring, and she said she's not coming back.
Oh, wow.
That's
and this is going to be the second vacancy, right? In
Yeah.
the district court. They're going to have to fill two now.
Yeah. I'm two in Reno, so of course I don't know if it's Reno or Carson City, I don't know.
So that's how you found out, Rolando?
About what?
Just about her retirement?
No, I find out in the courthouse, and then now I got here, and I read the paper, that daily paper over here that we have. I'm surprised they put anything in there. But Chief Barker is also retiring, and is supposedly starting tomorrow, Friday. But look at the catch. He's retiring, but he's gonna stay on the bench, listening to his calendar until April, when they get a replacement to put him in there. So now he's retiring tomorrow. He is going to become a senior judge. As a senior judge, he can be in the same courtroom that he was, and he's making $2,500 a week.
Oh, that's nice.
Plus his retirement check.
That's not.
I mean, what kind of ripoff is this?
Does he need a secretary?
You need a producer over there.
Well, she would. I mean, her salary.
I don't have time.
Here. Yeah, I mean, why would she go take a pay cut?
That's right.
You know, you had to match Megyn Kelly, so we had
That's
to
right.
Yeah, we had to
20
pay
million.
20 million to keep her because she was threatening to leave. She was going to CBS. That's what she does.
Our producer?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was talking to me last night. She said, "You better have paid me because I was going to CBS."
Yeah.
She was talking behind
No, I give him a raise, 20 million a year. That's the best I can do. What is she doing? I can see that. Oh, she's shooting herself? Oh, you want more money? More than 20 million? Don't push it, girl. So, but, I mean, this is and this is another thing that I don't understand. If you are elected, why do you have to wait until the middle of your term to retire? Why can't you be decent enough to wait until you finish your term? And then they can put somebody else in that department to run for election. No, now the governor is going to choose one of his friends to become a judge for the a year and a half or something like that, 2 years. And then that person is going to be running as the incumbent. And it's a much better chances for that person to win than,
absolutely.
You know, but I believe that it should not be that way.
Yes. I know we're going to jump into our big story of the day today on Face the Tribune in a few minutes, but we have a new director of cultural affairs that was named in Las Vegas. Did you see that? Her name is Allie R. Haynes Handlin.
Yeah,
and
she came from Scottsdale.
Yes, she earned $120,000 plus benefits.
Yeah.
And you're right, Rolando, she's from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, I was there yesterday when they appointed her.
Yes.
Yeah.
CES convention is in town now.
Wow. And they got, 2,000 more square feet or something like that?
Yes, at the convention, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big. So there's this big new electric car that everybody.
There's another convention that is also as big as CES, right? The one that belonged to Sheldon Adelson.
Yeah, what is that?
What was that?
Sian, can you look that up for us?
What is it?
There's a convention, I believe, the Sheldon Adelson.
Electronic something.
Electronics convention that he has here.
Okay.
Electronic something. I forgot the name of CES. No, CES is here now.
Yes, CES is here now.
It's another convention.
Not CES. CES is here now.
It's as big as he. Actually, that's the one that make Sheldon Adelson a millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Sheldon Adelson? Is that what you said?
Adelson.
Adelson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be. He used to be the one that they used to bring the convention to Canada, and he made so much money. Then he bought the Sands Hotel,
Yeah.
and then from there up, the rest is history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sears is closing 150 stores, and they're going to close
Wow.
one here in Las Vegas. Yeah.
And I didn't know the Sears Kmart belonged to Sears.
Yes.
And now Sears has 3 more stores. I think one is about some tools or something. And they have, you find it?
It's the computer's thinking.
The computer is thinking. Oh my God, I didn't know the computers take that long to think.
First major newspaper.
And you see, we're trying to get a soccer team here now. We just got a hockey team. We're trying to get a football. Why are we trying to get all these professional teams today, Rolando? What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that yesterday when I was at the city council meeting, they had.
I don't know when the convention is. I found some other stuff. Let me go back.
Maybe you can put them the 2 major convention groups or something, and maybe that give you the names. I don't know. I don't know how to do research. Stupid with
I'm working on it.
We're going to jump into a big story today, and that's Christine Lobato. Rolando, tell people about that.
Christine Lobato had a new trial set up. Well, they got a hearing on February 22nd. I'm hoping to have Michelle, I forgot her last name now. She's been like her confidant, and she's supposed to be here next week in our radio show. But they allow her to have a new trial, and David Chesnoff is going to take the case on. The paper said that he's going to do a pro bono, but I don't know if it is pro bono because Barry Chair is also involved with the project, Innocent Project.
Yes.
And, I think she got a good chance now, thanks God, because that lady is been in prison for 15 and a half years. And I tell you, she has to have pissed off somebody, I don't know where, the prosecutor, the police department. She must have pissed somebody off really good because they nailed her so badly. I could not believe, because all the proof, the judge was a complete disaster, the judge in the trial. It was a disaster. She didn't want the jurors to know that she was not in town when the crime committed. And she didn't want the jurors to know anything, And I don't remember who was her defense attorney, but they didn't do nothing.
For those of you listening across the country, refresh the audience out there, Rolando, about the Christine Lobato case and what she was trying on.
Christine was accused of killing a man that allegedly has raped her. And she cut his penny off. And I think rumors is that she stick it in the back of him. And that's what the charges of penetration is. But it wasn't. First of all, let me tell you, I believe that a woman that is being raped should have the alternative of killing the rapist.
Yes.
I believe that that is the ultimate
Yes.
experience that a woman can have to be raped.
Yes.
I never been raped, but I believe that it gotta be a very, very distress issue. And I believe, but the law, it doesn't say that, so let's go back to the law. She was not here when it happened, and she offered to take a DNA, and they do not allow her to get a DNA. I don't know why, because it wasn't going to cost the county or the state or the matter anything. Somebody else was going to pay for, and them Innocent Project offered to pay for, and the government, the court refused to allow her to get a DNA test. That's why it made me think that she needs, then she has, she must have pissed somebody off. And I got the feeling that most,
She had to. She
yeah,
had to.
most likely the police. Most likely the police. Most likely the
What do
police.
you think she could have done to piss them off like that?
You know, the police, not all policemen, but that little select of privileged detectives, they got the habit of, if you don't do what they tell you, you piss them off, and they make you pay for it.
They hold grudges too.
God bless you.
They remember you. They remember you. Those Metro officers, they run into you again. They remember you. They do.
The only thing I can find on your question is it says the GOP convention host apologizes to billionaire Sheldon Adelson. What was your question about on conventions? It doesn't tell
We just want the name of
the one that apologized.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sheldon Allison, I think, is the head of a convention that comes here.
He's with
Comdex.
Sands.
Comdex. We got it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't find that.
Never mind. I do better than you.
Comdex. Thank you.
Never mind.
And I have the internet at my fingertips.
Yeah.
And you still do better.
I know. What can I tell you? I'm so
They got
precious.
some information on Comdex for us, though. Thank you. But yeah, she must have pissed somebody off, some police officers off, man. Dude, 15 and a half years, Rolando. Mercy.
And now, Innocent Project and Barry Cheers, I think he was in the O.J. Simpson's
He was some capacity.
trial.
He was, yes.
And when they come from out of town, they need to hire a local attorney. So they hire the best. They hire David Chestnut. They used to be partnered with Oscar Goodman. So
She's got a good attorney. Hey, she's got a good chance for that.
I don't know if she got a good attorney, but she got a powerful attorney, which is the equivalent of a good attorney.
Are we talking about Stan the Annuity Man, Comdex?
No.
Okay.
I beg your pardon? A nude man?
Annuity Man.
Oh.
Stan the Annuity Man.
No.
Comdex. Okay. Let me go back.
It doesn't tell you which one is a bigger convention here, Comdex or CES.
So Comdex or CES.
So they're going to allow DNA? Are they gonna
I
allow
think so.
that?
Yeah. Michelle Ravel is the lady that she called yesterday when we finished the radio show. She knew I finished my radio show at 1 o'clock and she called at 1:05. Because yesterday they went to court yesterday. But I was in City Hall. I could not be in both places at the same time. So she called me at 1:05. I appreciate that, Michelle. I love you for that because I've been following that case from the very first day.
Yes.
And I tell you, I have a lot of respect for that lady. She's been there for 15 and a half years, and she doesn't break. She is right there, you know, and I admire her for that. She didn't, I'm sure she must have cried a couple of times.
Yes.
You know, I would be crying all day long if I was in her shoes, you know.
So what is her defense, Rolando? What did she say? Christine Lobato.
That she wasn't here. She was not here. The priest wanted to testify, they didn't let him. The beautician, her hairdresser wanted to testify, they didn't let him. Her teacher from the high school, they all came down to Las Vegas to testify in her favor. We saw her there. We did that. You know. And the judge, Valerie Vega. Valerie Vega, she's retired now. I don't want to start talking about her because it's not fair. You know, she might not even listening to this show. But she's a Latino, you know. Supposedly, her father one time was a kind of very well known in the Latino community. He had a very dubious ending, and he disappeared. He left Las Vegas, and but she's very, very Judge Vega, very intelligent, but she's very against Latinos and women. I don't know why, but I wrote about that a million times. I don't like, you know, I shared a table with her one time in the Chamber of Commerce, and we get along okay, but as a judge, I don't think she was fair at all with anybody. You know, Latino, Latina, women in general. Very, very, it's almost like she wants to teach women a lesson, you know. Yeah. And that's the way she was. But she's retired now, so
So what is the defense theory on who killed him? They don't know.
I don't think they have to find out who did it. That's the police work.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the police work. Yeah. All the defense we have to do now is to prove that she didn't do it. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what I don't understand. How can they go 15 and a half years denying this poor woman the opportunity to prove that she didn't do it?
Yeah.
What's the punishment? And I wish somebody with more money and more manpower and more tools than we do can find out who is the police officer or the prosecutor or somebody that have not they could have hurt her, you know. It's unbelievable.
What prison is she in?
I believe she's over here in Jean. She was in Smiley Road, but I think I don't know, because Jessica Williams is here in Jean. But Maybe she is in prison. Jean is a camp. It's not a jail. It's not a prison. It's a camp. It's more.
It is a prison, but they get to leave off property every day.
It is.
They get to go work off property with the fire department, but it is a prison.
It is a prison. It's not a camp.
It's a prison. They call it camp because they get to work. They get the right to work, and they get to leave property with the fire department to go work.
Why with the fire department? They work for the fire department?
No, there's rangers that are like work for the fire department. There's rangers. They're like the handlers of the prison people, and they work for the fire department, and they go and fight fires is what they do, or fight floods, or they go and work for the city, or they go to Boulder City and clean up the trash and the shrubs and cut the trees, and they do work.
Wow.
That's why it's called a camp, because they get to leave property. They are still prisoners, but they get to leave property every day, or Monday through Friday, and go work in the community. And there are firefighters that volunteer to be a part of that program, and they are like the wardens. They're like the guys that drive the truck and take them out, but they're responsible for those 12 girls. They do 12-girl crews.
Wow. Would that be kind of a slavery?
No, actually, they pay them $1.25, I think, an hour.
Oh, well.
But it's something. But then they get their room and board, and they get the $1.25 an hour. That's what they get.
And they got to.
And they get to leave prison and go out. They don't get to go talk to people or anything like that, but they get to go work instead of just sitting in prison doing nothing.
That's good. That's better than just sitting there. Imagine.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, than just sitting in prison.
It is better.
At least she gets to go out and do things.
Yeah. The men camps also. They work for the fire department, and they go and fight all those big fires that are everywhere. They'll travel and go all the way to California and fight fires.
Thank you, Sienna. Wow, that's incredible.
Interesting.
That is. So,
interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank God for the Innocence Project and them picking this up. That is, how many innocent people, Rolando, are probably sitting in jail, man, sitting in prison,
Well, I know about 5. I, myself, know 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Just incredible.
Yeah.
Thank God for these lawyers that start these organizations, and they do a lot of the work pro bono, are trying to help free people. I mean, our judicial system isn't the best, but it's the best in the world, and it doesn't always work out. But thank God that we have projects like this, the Innocence Project, that looked into the Christine Lobato case and took her case on, and finally she's going to get DNA tested, and she's maintained her innocence for 15 years. That she did not do this, that she did not commit this crime. So just thank God she's got some good lawyers right now, and just thank God that they're going to do this work pro bono, and they're going to, try and free her, because it's been 15 and a half years that she's been locked up, she's been imprisoned, and, she's always maintained her innocence. There were people that were not allowed to testify. The DNA was not entered into the case. And finally, right now, they're allowing it, and thank God for the Innocence Project that has picked this case up. And Christine Lobato is going to have a new trial. It started the other day, and she's got a chance to prove her innocence. She said that she wasn't there, and a lot of people in the Christine Lobato case, a lot of people, for some reason, they were not allowed by the judge to testify on her behalf of her innocence. And just thank God that she's going to get a chance. Can you imagine spending 15 and a half years of your life in prison, and that you did not commit that crime? That would just have to be horrible. And that happens to a lot of people all over the country, especially in the minority communities. A lot of people get railroaded and spend a lot of their life in prison, and they didn't commit these crimes, but they didn't have lawyers, and they didn't have people to fight for their cases. They didn't have people to stand up for them, and that happens a lot, So, it's yeah. it's very unfortunate, what's going on out here about a lot of people that are spending a lot of their life locked up. I know in Chicago, a lot of people get railroaded, especially on drug cases and just a lot of cases, murder cases, and everybody I think should get their day in trial. And I believe that all of the evidence should be presented. I think that everybody should, have people that are able to come testify. I definitely think the DNA, I don't care how expensive it is. I know it's a lot less expensive than it used to be. DNA used to be very expensive to bring to trial, but I think that, a lot of poorer people in this country and a lot of minorities don't have the opportunity to have DNA entered into the trial. And a lot of people that could have testified, that could have cleared them in these cases, are not allowed to testify. So I think that that's just a shame. Christine Lobato has been, I don't know whether she's innocent or guilty. I don't know as much about the case as Rolando knows. But what I do know is that all of the evidence should be entered into trial before a person is sent away. I mean, when you have your freedom taken from you, you should at least have all of the evidence presented, and you should have your day in court. Everybody that can say, what is the harm in having people testify? That doesn't mean that you're going to be innocent or guilty. It just means that at least, if it takes an extra week or an extra month to get it right, then that's what we should do, because you're talking about somebody's lives. You're talking about a lot of instances, people being taken from their family, from their children, from their spouses, and for the rest of their life. And, it would just be a horrible shame to have these people incarcerated, and they haven't had all of the evidence presented, and they haven't had their proper day in court and an opportunity to have all of the evidence presented in front of the judge and in front of the jury. And I think that it would just be a shame. And let's hope that she gets a fair trial. That's all we can ask for. Like I said, I don't know much about the case. I remember people making a big deal about the O.J. Simpson case. And what I used to always tell people was this: I wasn't there. And nobody was there. The only one that was there was the killer, was O.J.'s wife, and was Ron Goldman. Those were the only three people that were there. Other than that, you can have your opinion, but you don't know for a fact. And can you imagine, even if they had convicted him, and then 10 years later we found out that somebody else killed them? You can't go on your feelings. You can't go on what ifs or this is what I think. You have to go on fact. A lot of people did not give that jury enough credit. Let me tell you something. It doesn't make a difference. I don't believe when people go in a room, I don't believe race has anything to do with it. I believe that whether they were majority white, majority black, mixed, man, woman, I don't think it makes any difference. I believe most Americans are good people. And I believe that when they go into a jury room, I believe that they sit around. I think that they look at the evidence. I think that they discuss the evidence. And I think that they make for the most part, I think most Americans, white, black, I don't care if it was 1950 or 2015, I think most people look at the evidence and make the best decision. And nobody wants to send innocent people to prison. Nobody wants to let guilty people go free. And the only thing I tell people is that unless you were there, unless you were an eyewitness, an unbiased eyewitness, and you were there, we don't know what happened. All of the evidence was presented in the O.J. trial. They had medical witnesses, they had police officers, they had DNA, they had all kinds of things. We can't forget a Coastal Glove. But, those things were presented to 12 jurors. They went back to deliberating for days, and they came up with not guilty, because you got to be, you're innocent until proven guilty, and you have to be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And so if there's any doubt, you can't send a person to prison for 20, 25, 30 years, or send them to their death, and you have a reasonable doubt. That is, you're playing God as it is, and, that is a big decision to make. So I hope that in her situation, I don't know enough about her case, Christine Lobato, to begin with, but I know one thing: just what I've read and just what I've heard, DNA was denied, witnesses were denied testifying, And that is enough, thankfully, for the Innocent Project that has taken on the Christine Lobato case. And just thankfully enough that she's getting a new trial. And that's all that, you know, we ever ask for, is that all of the evidence is presented, not just some of it. And then let it go to jury. Like I said, most juries are good people. They go back and they deliberate. They're away from their families for weeks, months at a time, and they just want to get it right. But to get it right, you have to have all of the evidence. So if there were people that could testify on Christine Lobato's behalf, there's DNA that can be entered into the case that could possibly set her free. She has been away from her family and her loved ones and her friends for 15 and a half years. Can you imagine sitting in a jail for 15 and a half years in a prison, knowing all along that not only were you guilty, she maintained she wasn't even here. She wasn't even in the city. So you can imagine what she must be going through. You have to have a lot of faith to get through 15 and a half years of being incarcerated, and you know that you were innocent. You have to have a lot of faith to get through that. And I just pray that whatever happens this time, the only thing that I pray is that all of the evidence, as being a Christian man myself and being a conservative American, the only thing that I pray is that all of the evidence comes out and that she has an opportunity to have all the people that she wanted in the first trial to testify, that she gets the DNA to come out, and that she has an opportunity to have her case heard again. Like I said, thank God for the Innocent organization, and they're taking on the Innocent Project organization. They're taking on this case, and Christine Lobato is getting her day in court once again. And whether she is innocent or found guilty, at least all the evidence will be presented, and she will have her day in court. It's a beautiful, partly cloudy day here in Las Vegas today. We are 35 past the hour. You're listening to Face the Tribune with the legendary Rolando Larraz. I am your co-host, Chris Garcia, and today's forecast is a high of 63, a low of 42. They have a 10% chance of rain. Tomorrow will drop down a little bit, a high of 50, a low of 37 tomorrow, and Saturday, a high of 54 and a low of 43. You're listening to Face the Tribune.
I believe on Tuesday, if Tuesday is January 10, we are going to have the honor to have County Commissioner Chris Garcia.
Oh, wow.
And she is a fantastic county commissioner.
Wow.
She's very good. She's very dedicated, and you know, she lives over here on 15th Street, and that house is always, she's always taking care of her constituents, and it's unbelievable how she is. You know, I wish I can get along with her better, but she's good. She's good to the people, and she's good with the people.
Good.
You know.
Excellent. Big show Tuesday, so make sure that you listen to that show and watch the show next Tuesday. Yeah. It's going to be a big show, and we stream live again Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 o'clock on RadioTribune.com. That is RadioTribune.com, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 o'clock. If you'd like to call in and talk to Rolando or talk to myself, we'd love to have a good discussion with you, or if you would like to call in and talk to our producer, Cian, and schedule a date that you'd like to come in and be on the show, you can call this phone right here. The number is 702-983-0711, 702-983-0711. And you can call in and you can be a part of our show live, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 o'clock Pacific time. And one of the sponsors of our show is Mailed by Renee. For $10 a month, you can come in and you can see Cian. We are located on 716 South 10th Street in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada, right off of 10th and Charleston. For $10 a month, you can come in and have a wonderful downtown Las Vegas address. You can even have your state IDs and driver's licenses sent to Mail by Renee for $10 a month.
Yeah. And also, if you're opening a business and you don't have that much money, instead of than renting an office and putting a phone and all that stuff, they can do that for you over there. You can put your business license over there.
That's right.
And you have, I think, I'm not sure, but I think they can give you a phone number too, and they can answer it with your number, with the name of your business, and everything is very economical and very, very, very helpful.
Absolutely.
For the person who, because you know, when you opening a business and you have to spend $500, $600, $700
Yes.
in business licenses alone, you know, plus the hassle and all that stuff, I believe having a place where you don't have to worry about it is pretty good, you know.
I got a little story right up your alley. So movie companies moving to Nevada will now have to get a state business license, and they used to be exempt for that. They used to didn't have to have a state license, but now if you do a movie in Las Vegas, you have to have a state license and a city license. So I know that you always talk about that now. That we have
I do, because I think it's stupid to do that. You know, let the people make the money, let the people pay their taxes, and that's it. You know, so, but. So now the movie.
You want to shoot a movie in Las Vegas, you got to have a state license and a city license. You used to just have. They used to be exempt from state license. They used to just have to have a city license to shoot here, but now they have to have both.
Really?
So they're always thinking of a way to make more money here in the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No, they used to be exempt from that. That's why a lot of people, I think, used to come here and shoot movies, but now they have to have a state and city license to shoot a movie here in the city of Las Vegas. So.
No, and I think it's even a good idea to have that, because what they should do is they should come to Mail by Rene and get an address over there, and they are local. They are just pay the business license, which is I don't know, $75 a year or something like that, every 6 months, something like that, and they can be pretend to be local.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. There's a bill that's up right now in the state to exempt veterans from paying vehicle registration fees every 8 years. So that would be nice, you know, if they would exempt veterans from having to register their vehicles.
Instead of do it every year?
Yeah,
every 8 years.
Yes.
And what would be the price for that?
I don't know, but it's up right now in the Nevada
because
state.
if it's according to whatever the fee is yearly, and they're going to put it every 8 years, it would be more difficult for people that are not having that much money.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I was talking about you know, at least Christine Lobato, at least she's gonna, you know, people now will be able to testify. The DNA will be entered, you know, and you know, you talk about this all the time, Rolando, about, you know, not one innocent person should be sitting in prison, and it doesn't, you know, no matter what it takes, all the evidence should just be presented. At least give her a chance, you know. What difference does it make if the trial lasts an extra month or an extra couple of months? At least let everybody come out that wants to testify.
I always maintain the thesis that the prosecutors over here, they want to create the law the way they want it. And I think it's unfair.
Yes.
Prosecutors are supposed to be enforcing the law and making sure that the criminals are paying for the crime they committed, but they don't doing that. They doing it. They want to win every case because in the back of their mind they want to become judges, and then it shows like, oh man, 100%. 100%, what do you call, conviction
rate. Yeah. I think you're right, Rolando. Yeah. Absolutely.
They're not looking for winning. They're not looking to be fair and to be and to implement the law.
Yes.
They're looking to win. That's all. That's the problem.
Yes.
And look at the bench right now. Most of the judges in Clark County come from the prosecutor's office. You know, and I don't think it's fair that should be done that way. I don't think it's fair. I believe that they need to be able to prove their innocence.
Yes.
And if the police do their job right, there will be less cases. And if the prosecutors do their job right, there will be less convictions. So the prisons will not be as full as they are right now. You know, and it should not be. Then they have to keep building. But of course, you know that everybody said then the prison is a business.
It's a big business, Rolando. It's a big business. It's a big business.
And that's why there's a lot of people in private business that are invested in opening prison systems. Not prison system, but prisons.
Yes. A lot of them are privately owned today, Rolando. A lot of the prisons.
Yeah.
They have stocks that they sell and all kinds of stuff. It's amazing, yeah. It's become big business.
And you know, when they make a deal with the state or the feds for X amount of money for each inmate, and the price of the food go up, or the price of the power go up, or the water bill goes up, instead of that ask for more money, they give less to the prisoners, and they put them in a very, very unsafe position. And I think that's something that the people have to look at and start paying attention and start complaining and start demanding a better service. I understand that when you go to prison, you lose your right, but you only lose your constitutional right. You don't lose your human rights.
Right.
And you should be treated like a human, not like a slave.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the problem with nowadays with these things. Everybody wants to make money at any cost.
That's right.
You know, somebody had to lose.
That's right.
You know, but I'm glad that Christine, what does that mean? 7? 7. 7-Eleven.
It's usually 4. That's what you usually mean. Right when
I
you get into
know.
a good discussion.
I know. As soon as we start getting a little bit excited and getting a good discussion, it's like that she doesn't want me to succeed. She doesn't want me to have a successful show.
Our producer was a little mad. She said that you lowballed her when you only offered her $15 million to stay here. So when you came up to 20
million. Why does she want more money?
I think that there's some perks that she was looking at. She said Megyn Kelly gets a trip to Mexico paid free for 2 weeks. So she said that she would.
What do you need to go to Mexico for? Or you gotta go to Fremont Street. You see all the Mexicans in the world.
Jeez.
Mexican restaurants, you know.
She said she wants to lay on the beach and have the Mexican men bring her drinks. So.
Oh. And what are your husband going to say about
I'm
it?
not going to be there. She's not for me. It's a paid trip for her for 2 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
So she said if you work that in her contract, she might start smiling just a little bit.
She needs to smile. She got a beautiful smile.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Las Vegas, the council has approved annexing 4,500 acres in the Northwest by Red Rock National Convention. So the city of Las Vegas is going to grow by 7 miles. You don't go out there, but Las Vegas will be 7 miles bigger than what it was. Yes.
I hear something like that in TV yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what difference it makes. I mean, to me, it doesn't make any difference. You know me. My mentality of Las Vegas is right here. Period. You never see me going any farther than Tropicana Road.
That's right.
You know, and I like to keep my office in downtown. I am a downtown person. And I think we have Andy Laporte is going to be here tomorrow. The guy from the public radio.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he might stop by tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about putting more of our shows in that radio station. Yeah. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Excellent.
You know.
Tell the people again one more time, Rolando, if we get low on time, about Tuesday's big show, who we're going to have on January the 10th.
Oh, Chris Giuliani, the county commissioner. I think it's District B, I believe. And she used to be in the legislature. She used to be an assembly woman. And then she ran for county commissioner, and she's been there. I think she's in a term limit now, I think. But she's not running right now. But she got to finish this term, and she's a hard-working commissioner. I tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't think we get along too well, but I don't know why. She's a little too tough for my taste. But
so you want me to sit in the middle when she comes on?
You sit in the middle. You know, but I like her. I think she's doing the right thing for the people of Clark County. And, you know, it's not, she don't look the cases by individual. She look at the case, what is good for Clark County. And that is something that not all of them is doing.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know, so
big show Tuesday, January 10th. Christine, is it?
Yeah, I think Tuesday is January 10th.
Yes. Big show. So everybody listening to Face Tribune, make sure you watch us on January 10th and listen to us live on radiotribune.com. Big show coming up.
And you know, the day before yesterday, or a few days ago, when Kevin Chow was here, he said that Clark County schools are not in the bottom of the list. And yesterday, and even today, this morning, there was a segment on TV saying that Clark County is number 50.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah, we are always been at the bottom of the list.
I don't understand how Kevin Shaw said that.
I think his argument, the argument he was trying to make was that I guess Clark County does things differently than other school districts in the fact that if a child drops out or leaves or this, that, and the other, it's still counted against the graduation rate. It's still counted against, certain things, and they don't find out where those children went. So that's what lowers the school testing and the school scores and school graduation rate. But I think even if that wasn't the case, Clark County has always ranked in the bottom half of national school scores and graduation rates, we've always been toward the bottom line.
Yeah,
I don't understand
for a long time.
For a long time.
That's why, but I didn't want to argue with him because I'm not an expert on the schools. I have no kids. I never had a kid, you know. And the one kid that I kind of raised, you know, her mother was in charge of that situation, you know, taking it to school. I guess it's different when you are just like an adopted parent, you know. You don't live in the same house, you don't, you know, but I always believe that children should be the most important priority for any community, you know. And if I can, you know, because this is another thing. People have the idea, especially people from outside, they have the idea that we treat children and elder person better than anybody else. And I don't think it's true. You can even rent a house when you got children. You can even rent a house when you're an older person on a fixed income. Yeah. You know, people don't want to hire an older person. There was a lady, she's 54 years old. Mm-hmm. And they told her that she's too old. Mm-hmm. She went to apply for a job in one of the casinos, and she was told that she's too old. Wow. And all she wanted to be is, I believe it was hostess in one of the restaurants. Wow. She was applying for that job. Wow. And so I don't understand how we can be so, how children can be that important and how elder people can be that important, and then we deprive them of the basic values of this life. That's right. You know, I don't think it's fair. You know, I believe that we need to start paying attention to what we're doing, you know. We need to start paying attention to what we're doing. You know, I mean,